Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how The Rock's ego got to him for him not showing up at WrestleMania 41. So, long time ago, I said The Rock needs to stay off WWE TV because he is Hollywood now. And here's the thing. Let me clarify a little bit. He has every right to appear in WWE programming because he is a legend. He's one of the best wrestlers there was back in the day. But the problem is the dude is Hollywood now, and that's all he sees. To the point where he has literally, to some degree, turned his back on the thing that made him famous, wrestling. I remember back when he was on Wizards of Waverly Place, and he said something along the lines of acting has always been like his first major job and stuff like that. And he didn't mention wrestling. Now I get it, wrestling is scripted, therefore it's a form of acting, but I don't think of it as acting because I think of it more as like entertainment sports, you know what I'm saying? And so when he said that all those years ago, over 10 years ago, that really let me know that he's done with wrestling as in something that made him who he is. And yeah, he still appeared in wrestling every now and then to do some things like with Mick Foley and against I think maybe DX or somebody, I forget what team it was, and stuff like that. He pops in, he pops out, and then he's gone. And if they want to have him appear, just do a backstage segment where he shows up, talks smack to somebody, or probably hits the rock bottom on somebody, and then just leave. That will be fine. Don't insert yourself in big stuff. And ever since he went Hollywood, that's really just been his focus. He wants to be known as like the hardest working man in Hollywood, to the point he will not take a bathroom break. I've said it before, and he's even confirmed this. He pisses in bottles, gives it to his assistant, and then they dispose of it. That's how hard he wants to be known as the hardest working man in Hollywood. So because of this dude has taken on project after project after project, and you can look at his list of upcoming projects when you go to his $7 production company on Wikipedia and all the stuff he has planned. He has no time. Because of that, he should just stay his behind off television. But he started to hear the chatter from fans, and after the whole Black Adam thing, he's been trying to get back in his fans' good graces after he failed big time with trying to take over the DC division of Warner Brothers when Black Adam failed and everything. That thing hit him hard to the point where I still think his ego has not recovered from. And so it started to expose The Rock bit by bit how big his ego is, how bad of an actor he is, how bad some of his movies do, things that he does behind the scenes and everything, like with the peen and being late, and little things here and there started to get exposed by him. And you know how he hates when fans turn on him. Well, for the longest time, people have been wondering where The Rock is. He didn't show up at WrestleMania. People paid good money for those tickets just to get Travis Scott. And more importantly, he keeps inserting himself in Cody Rhodes' business and this whole now John Cena turning heel thing, which makes no sense. The whole I want your soul thing, him being heel, turning face one week, heel the next, face again, blah, blah, blah. And with no show and no mentioning, fans have been wondering what the heck is going on. Well, The Rock finally explained on the Pat McAfee show. He never had no plans to return to wrestling for WrestleMania. That was all set in stone, and he was done after Elimination Chamber. So why, when somebody asked him, like, are you coming back for WrestleMania? We heard you're not. And I think he said something like, you can't believe everything you hear. Something like that, he said. And then it's like, him going to Cody Rhodes and all like, I want your soul, blah, blah. And him, the whole Travis Scott thing, John Cena thing. So it's like, what the heck was all this for? And I've been saying this all again. This is all have been for nothing. Nothing. And apparently it is. But he said on the Pat McAfee show that ticket sales were low for Elimination Chamber. So he decided he just didn't want to come back. So to explain what I think that is, basically what it is that fans are getting tired of him. They're letting him know daily, like online, they're getting tired of him. And that got to him. Then he saw the ticket sales and he's all like, oh, well, The Rock is Hollywood now. You don't want The Rock, I'll just go back to Hollywood and blah, 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 blah. And that's what I think what happened. His ego got fractured again and he decided to bail. Basically, he gave the middle finger to the fans and turned his back on them once again because his ego got bruised. Keep him off TV. Just keep him off TV. If he doesn't want to come back, keep him off TV. And, you gotta compare this to, say, somebody like The Undertaker. The Undertaker's a legend, but since The Undertaker has been retired, he's become one of those old, bitter people, and he's allowing politics to shape his life. So much, it has divided his fan base, but even though it has divided his fan base to where this dude has literally turned into a clone of Kid Rock. Even though it has divided his fan base, what happened last year at WrestleMania? Undertaker showed up. Everybody cheered him. He gave the choke slam to The Rock. Everybody cheered him. Even the fans that turned their back on him still cheered him. So do you see what I'm saying here? You can be a person that has pissed the fans off, but as long as they still love the person you used to be and you're not too overly controversial, then they will still cheer you, unless you're Hulk Hogan. His ship is sailed. He has a niche fan base that's just like him, and he can keep them. But you see what I'm saying here. Like, The Undertaker can come back. The Undertaker can say what he wants politically. He can vote for whoever he wants to politically. He can try to force people, telling them, like, how you should vote, which I hate when people do. Don't tell people how to vote. Never, ever tell a person how they should vote. And people still cheer this guy on. They're still pissed at him, but they still cheer him and everything. But why? You don't see him like refusing to come back when WWE asks him back. But The Rock, when The Rock can't get his way, he bails and everything. Apparently, he also said that he wanted to turn Cody Rhodes heel because, he's on the board of directors and stuff. He gets some sway. And apparently, nobody wanted to do what The Rock wanted to do. So The Rock decided, well, if you don't want to do what The Rock want to do, he's going to go back to Hollywood where he's the boss because it's his production company and he's going to get his way. So basically, he wanted to turn Cody heel. Cody said no. So then he went and turned John Cena heel, which makes no sense because John Cena heel role is so bizarre. It's just bizarre. He's one of the biggest baby faces ever, and they turned him heel. And John Cena acts like he kind of forgot how to be a heel. Like when he first became heel all those decades ago, or at least a decade ago, or a decade and a half. I forget how long he's been there. The whole Doctor of Thugonomics thing, that was very, very natural. You believe that dude was ghetto and a thug. When he did like his whole Marine thing, you believe that he was probably in the military at some point. It's just like, He was more believable back then, but now when he does the heel thing, he just has a huge grumpy look on his face, and he looks like he's trying to act, which John Cena, just like The Rock, is not no good actor. And this is just all coming out of nowhere, and people been wondering what the heck is going on. Then there's the whole Travis Scott thing and how he looks so uncomfortable on TV, like he has no idea where he's at or why he's there, but he's just there. And this is all because of The Rock. And when The Rock's plans have soured, people don't like Travis Scott. People don't like John Cena turning heel. They don't understand his whole "I want your soul" thing, and he can't get his way. So then he just basically just threw his hands up in the air and left. This is like just so unprofessional, and it's just kind of like they keep trying to get him back for WrestleMania, and he keeps denying this stuff. And if he can't come back, if he can't get his way the way he wants to leave, just keep him off TV. The Rock can piss in his bottles all he wants because he wants to be the hardest working man in Hollywood. He wants to be Mr. Hollywood, but yet he can't take a month off from his own production company and stuff, or just delay a movie for a time just to appear at WrestleMania and face his cousin for when his cousin had the title. This was back even in the Vince McMahon days. They have been trying to get The Rock forever to face his cousin. And for whatever reason, The Rock just kept like saying, oh, I don't have time to do it. And blah, 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 blah. Triple H has literally said, we're trying to do the best we can to get him, work some schedules around, but nothing's happening because The Rock doesn't want to come back. And so he finally decided to come back and everything, last year. And of course, what happened when fans did not want him winning the title from Cody, he got pissed. Fans got pissed at him and he turned heel. Because he literally inserted himself into that match and was gonna win the title from his cousin when it was Cody's time to shine. So selfish and everything. It's like there's more to it as to why he didn't want to take that title from his cousin years ago. I think he doesn't want to overshadow his cousin because it was his cousin's time to shine. And if he would have came in, won the title, it would have been like he doesn't value what his cousin did. So I believe that's the real reason why he never faced his cousin all those years ago. But he's going to wait until it's Cody's time and try to steal it from him. Basically, this man's ego is so huge, it needs its own universe. And it is time for the WWE just to cut the cord when it comes to The Rock. Because if he can't get his way, he turns into a baby. You fans need to cut the cord as well and realize this man wants nothing to truly do with wrestling because he's Mr. Hollywood now. And the thing is, y'all will never turn y'all back on him. He's going to continue to do what he does. He's going to continue to disappoint you. He's going to continue to make bad movies, and you're still going to follow him. It's kind of like Kanye West. No matter all the bad stuff Kanye does, his fans still support him. Makes no sense whatsoever. And so, I truly just believe The Rock just needs to stay off television. He can make the appearance at, say, like Hall of Fame. He can show up backstage with the rest of the legends. He can hit the rock bottom on somebody. He can call somebody a jabroni once in a while and then just leave. Go off into the sunset and just never come back. He does deserve to come back whenever he wants, but in recent light, it's just best if he stays off. Because if he can't get his way, well, And, when it comes to Rock, he does read comments. That's one thing I've noticed when it came to Black Adam. That man reads the comments. He used to answer a couple of fans' questions back in the day and still does. And so it's like in the video, he even says he didn't want to take away from Cody and John Cena moment and everything. Because, a lot of fans have been accusing him of that ever since last WrestleMania, that he took Cody Rhodes' moment and stuff. So he's reading those comments and, maybe, he just decided, trying to sound like the good guy. Oh, I didn't want to take from their moment. But then once he said those ticket sales, he's starting to realize people are just tired of him. So now the problem is, did he do all this to be genuine? Be like, okay, ticket sales are low. You don't want to see The Rock. You don't want The Rock to take from Cody Rhodes and the John Cena moment. I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to bow out and everything and let them do their thing. Or is it more of a cocky ego thing with him? See, it's hard to tell because he has such an ego. And we found this out, that his ego is actually real during the whole Black Adam thing. All that ego he had years ago with WWE turns out to be real and everything. People just thought it was a persona, but no, it's the same way when he got booed during his Hogan match, and that legit pissed him off and everything. So it's hard to tell if he was just being a genuine nice guy and letting, the dudes do their thing, or if it's more like his ego got to the best of him and he just like, oh, you don't want me, so I'm out. It's hard to tell with that guy. And The Rock does care about his fans, not just because of a money thing, but he wants to entertain them, but also a money thing and everything. And it's kind of like, what could he do to regain, the faith of, his fans, Because it's kind of hard at this point when the whole, people who love DC movies, they put a lot of that blame on him because of the whole Black Adam thing. Then, he talks about politics every once in a blue moon. Or he'll say one thing that will piss a person off, and, about the culture of what's going on in entertainment business and this and that. And it's kind of like, he should just be like this. This is who I am. Deal with it. If you want to stay my fan, fine. If you don't, I don't care. But the problem is he does care because he wants that fan worship and he wants money. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.